Should we talk about 16-year-olds voting? Seems to be quite popular at the moment, doesn't it? And it's an interesting topic, so I want to talk about it. I want to do a video about it. But let's get real straight away. I mean, Labour haven't implemented this because they care about democracy or they want to let everyone have their say. No, they've implemented this because they believe that more 16, 17-year-olds are going to vote for Labour. Or maybe not necessarily vote for Labour, but definitely not vote for the Tories. That's why they've implemented it. Saw exactly the same thing last year when the Tories implemented voter ID. People that haven't got ID, poorer people, younger people, probably more likely to vote Labour. So they want to try and suppress that vote. You know, this is politics. This is why I can't stand this stuff and how ridiculous it is. Because the thing is, we all know this. We know when the Tories introduced voter ID, we all know, okay, they're doing that to try and stop Labour voters. And Labour have introduced 16, 17-year-olds voting because they believe they're going to vote Labour. We all know this. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. The politicians know it. You know, we know they're lying. They know that they're lying. They know we know we're lying, but we all have to play this stupid little game, don't we? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And also, to cut out the faff as well, I mean, generally, people that are for this are left-wing because they want to encourage more people that vote like them. And people that are against it are more right-wing because they want to suppress people that don't vote like them. Again, that's real. But, you know, let's look at the arguments. The arguments are that 16-year-olds, they don't know what they're voting for. They're not politically engaged. Nothing affects them. You know, you can't buy alcohol till you're 18. You can't gamble till you're 18. You can't smoke till you're 18. You can't watch adult movies. But I'm sure pretty much all 16-year-olds are, especially in this day and age. You know, they're the arguments, aren't they? And, you know, there's some good points. There's very good reasons why we don't sell alcohol to kids, because it's dangerous. There's good reasons why we don't let kids gamble. They can get addicted to it. Why we don't let kids smoke, because it's bad for their health. But I guess the question is, we put those in place to protect children. Is it dangerous for 16-year-olds to vote? Is it bad for their health? Is it, you know, I'd have the opposite opinion. You know, I think it's quite good for 16-year-olds to be politically engaged. But then you've got the point that I think so many people are missing when I see people talk about this topic, which is, if a 16-year-old can vote, when a 16-year-old is voting, they're voting for what a government is going to implement for the next 5 years. Now, I would argue that's a very important time in your life. From 16 to 21, a lot of stuff happens, and there's a lot of government involvement in your life between 16 and 21. College, A-levels, university fees, availability of apprenticeships, just life prospects, renting, you know, everything. In that period of time, there's a lot of things that affect your life that governments will implement. And you know, I said the same thing about Brexit. You know, I thought 16-year-olds should have the vote on Brexit. There's a stat, I can't remember the exact number, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 1 million people, 1 million Brexit voters died of old age before Brexit was even implemented. Now, I wouldn't want to take the vote away from them, but I'd say 16-year-olds in that vote deserved it far more than them for something that's going to affect their lives. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 16-year-olds had the vote in the Scottish referendum, right? For exactly the same reasons. It's going to affect the rest of their lives. And yeah, a UK general election is only the next 5 years, but I would argue that's a very important time in your life. And I'm just generally for more democracy. Like, forget all the bullshit. Try and forget your biases, your political biases. We know why people are biased on this topic, but try and forget all that. I am just generally for more democracy. I want more democracy. I think more people should have the vote. You know, I can't stand these people that say, oh, you should have some sort of literary test before you vote. No, the more people that can have their voices heard, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Even if you're not that politically engaged, if you're Doris down the road, okay, and the only thing you care about is your local post office from being closed down, you don't engage in national politics, you're not really clued up in much else, but you really care about your local post office, and there's a party that you want to vote for that's going to guarantee that post office is there, you should have the vote. Everyone should have the vote. And 16-year-olds having a choice on what government is going to be in charge of one of the most important times of your life, I think is completely fair. But I don't get the fear. What is the fear? What are people so scared of 16, 17-year-olds voting? Do they think they're all going to vote for the let's legalise drugs party or something? I don't know. I'd probably vote for them, actually. What is the fear? Well, the fear is they don't want more people voting in the opposite way that they vote. That is the fear. And let's get real. Are there really going to be that many 16, 17-year-olds voting anyway? There's not many 18-year-olds that vote. I think if you're politically engaged at that age, then you should definitely get the vote. Anyway, folks, till next time. If you have a particular topic that you want me to talk about, please put it down below. If I take an interest in it, I'll feature it in a new video. Until next time, take care.